Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be doing an almost full face of Merit Beauty. All of these items were sent to me in PR from Merit, but that doesn't affect how I'm going to review the items. I'm going to give you my fully formed review. I've been using these products for several days now, and I think I have pretty well formed and rounded opinions on everything. So I'm going to be showing you how everything applies. I have a little bit of everything. I've got foundation, blush, highlighter, mascara, eyebrows, and also I have a new shade of their lip oil to show you, and I have their brush as well. So I'm going to be showing you all of that, demoing everything and sharing my thoughts on everything. So if you'd like to see all of that, just keep on watching. All right, so obviously I've got my base on already and I filmed myself applying the foundation, so I'm going to show you that right now, and I'll just talk about the foundation as I'm showing you. I really like this foundation. It's meant to be used as a foundation and or a concealer, and I think it works really well for both purposes. I haven't applied any additional base product like a concealer on top of this foundation today, and I've been wearing it just on its own for the last few days, and I really think that it works well to cover both purposes. I think the formula feels quite similar and the format feels quite similar to the Westman Atelier Vital Skin foundation, but I think that this one is a little bit more powerful in terms of how well it can cover, and I find that it's quite a bit more pigmented than the Westman Atelier, but it still has that sort of similar second skin, undetectable effect to it. So I think this is a really excellent foundation. If I continue comparing it to the Westman Atelier, it does have less product. So the Merit Foundation Concealer has 3.7 grams in it, and the Westman Atelier I think is 9 grams. So there's a big difference in terms of the amount of product you're getting, but as I mentioned, the pigment is much richer, I find, in the Merit, and it covers a lot more and would require a lot less building to get to a similar sort of medium coverage level. The Merit kind of starts out at a medium coverage. The Westman Atelier definitely starts out for me at a lighter coverage and doesn't actually build all that much. So although you're getting quite a bit less product with the Merit, I think it can go a similar distance as the Westman Atelier in terms of how many uses you can get out of it. And as I mentioned, it has a bit of a higher coverage, but still maintains that really nice skin-like, undetectable feel. I also find the Merit to be quite a bit more long-lasting. I find it wears well all day. I think I've probably worn it up to 8 hours and it's stayed looking really nice and fresh. I do like to set it with a little bit of a powder. I like to use my Becca Light Shifter Finishing Veil. It's a very, again, it's sort of an undetectable type powder. It doesn't look powdery at all, and it just sets the makeup down a little bit, smooths everything over a little bit, but doesn't look dry or powdery in any way. And I think it's a really good pair for the Merit foundation, and I really love the appearance of the two products together. So that's all I have on my base right now, is just the Merit foundation and that Becca Light Shifter powder. And I think it gives a really beautiful smoothing look to the skin. So I've already done my eyeshadow. Merit doesn't have eyeshadows, at least not yet, but they do have mascara. So I'm gonna apply the mascara now, and I'll just show you how that looks. The packaging is nice. It's a little bit different, which I appreciate. Different shape to it. The wand is really nice, and it's the type of wand that I really love. Just sort of a straightforward wand that is not too big. It's not curved anywhere. This is my favorite type of mascara wand. So there you can see the difference. It has quite an impact. It's a really nice mascara. I think it's a perfect kind of everyday mascara, but it can also work for more dramatic looks, and it builds up really nicely. So there's what the mascara looks like. think it's excellent, and I really like the formula. It's very richly pigmented, a nice true black color, and the consistency of it is really nice too. It's a little bit wet. Mine is quite fresh. I've only used it a few times, so it's a little bit wet, but it still has a nice thickness to it that it's not kind of sliding all over the place. I don't experience any flaking or smudging with it. That's not really something I experience with mascara in general, but I also don't experience it with this one. So I think it's really beautiful and a really versatile mascara that can be used for an everyday purpose or built up to look a little bit more glamorous. So now I want to move on to cheeks, and I have two cheek products here. I have their blush and I have their highlighting stick. They're both cream products, which I love. I love both powders and creams for face products, but I'm really in a more cream phase these days. So I really appreciate this cream formula, and this is the color Raspberry Beret, and I just thought this would be a perfect kind of fall color. It's a nice cool toned raspberry shade. By the way, I should mention the brush. This is also their foundation brush, and I used it to apply the foundation, but I've also really been loving it for cream blush, both this one and other cream blushes that I have. It's just a perfect size. I think it's very comparable to the Westman Atelier blender brush. And I would say if you were trying to choose between the two, go for this one because it's less expensive. It's just as soft. And I find it actually a little bit more pleasant to use because it's not as heavy. I know often with luxury makeup, we like a bit of a weight to the products, but when it comes to brushes, I personally don't like having heavy brushes because it's just not as easy to maneuver them and doesn't feel as seamless when you're blending and so on. So I really like the size and the weight of this brush, and I also like that it can just stand up on the table like that, which is really wonderful. So when I'm applying the blush, I kind of like to do a combination of a patting and kind of blending or swiping motion. And it looks very one with the skin. I love this shade. And I have to say both the blush and the highlighter wear really well. They wear just as well as the foundation. So even after like 6 to 8 hours, the blush and the highlight impact are still there. And it doesn't require reapplying, which is really great, especially for cream products. All right, now for the highlighter. I love this highlight stick. This is in the shade Cava, which is a perfect color for me. It's kind of an off-white, beautiful, light champagne beige color. I'm actually just gonna kind of tap that in with my fingers. In terms of the consistency and formula of this, I find it's kind of in between the Westman Atelier Lit Up Highlight Stick and the Salt New York Radiant Cream Tint. It has more pigment to it than the Westman Atelier ones, but it has a similar sort of feel to it, that really kind of slippy feel. It takes a little while to kind of settle into the skin and set down a little bit. It'll remain feeling kind of just like moisturized skin. It's not sticky at all, but it doesn't completely set down to a dry finish. It has a really beautiful, glowy impact, and as I said, it really does last all day long. So the next thing I want to do is eyebrows, and I have their brow pomade shade Blonde. Quite a large spoolie for an eyebrow product, but I really love it. And again, I think the formula of this product is really excellent. Kind of like the mascara, it has enough pigment to really fill in where I need to fill in my brows, especially on the outer half of my brows. That's where they're more sparse. So that's where I like to start. And I kind of use the tip of the spoolie to really get more of that product on there. And then I use the side to kind of brush up the rest of my brows and brush through where I've already applied the product. And then I go back to the tip a little bit right on the inner part, again, where it's a little bit sparse and I want to just build up that pigment and impact a little bit. And I really like how this gives you those nice kind of fluffy, full looking brows, but they don't look heavy at all. And part of that might also be because of the color. You might think the color Blonde is much too light for my brows, but I find this works really nicely to give that impact but not look too heavy. Now let's move into the lip product. So they've recently brought out 4 new shades of their Shade Slick lip oil, and I chose this one. It's called Bel Air, and it's described as a warm clear gloss, and I just thought that sounded really interesting. As many lip products as I have, I don't really have much in the way of clear glosses or clear lip oils, so I was interested in it because it was clear. And then when I saw that sort of warm description, you can see it has that sort of yellowy golden warmth to it. I thought that would be really good because I do like a little bit of warmth to my lip products, especially when they're lighter colors or nudes. So I thought a clear with a tint of warm would be quite nice. So I'm going to show you how this looks on the lips. So you can see the difference between the bottom and the top. It has a beautiful shine, and it does add just that little bit of warmth and life to the lips that I really like. I went in for another dip into the bottle, and let's do the top lip. And there it is. I think it's perfect for a super natural glossy lip look. It feels really nice on the lips. It has a little bit of it does have a little bit of an oily sort of slippy feel, not sticky at all, not even remotely so, but it's not too thick either. It has a really lovely consistency. And the thing that I think that I have that is most similar to it would be the Laneige Glowy Lip Balms. They're little balms that come in the tubes. It's the most similar to that, but it's not quite exactly the same feeling. This is a little bit more of an oily sort of, almost squishy sort of feeling. I don't really know how to describe it, but it feels really beautiful on the lips, really moisturizing, and super easy to just reapply as the day goes on. I'd definitely be curious to try some of the other shades. I have nothing else on my lips. I don't have liner or any stain or anything down. This is just my natural lip color with the gloss on top. I hope that this was helpful for you if you've been interested in Merit. I know I was interested, and so I was really excited when they contacted me and offered to send me some items. I was so excited to try everything. My top picks, I think, would have to be the foundation stick. I think that's a unique product and a really excellent quality product. I love how it works for me. The lip oil as well is just a perfect everyday product. And then if I had to go for a top 3, I think I'd have to pick the highlighter next because, again, I think this is a unique product. It's different from other formulas that I have. As I mentioned, it's kind of like somewhere in between the Salt highlights and the Westman Atelier highlight sticks. And I just think it's that perfect blend of a little bit of a sheer, slippy formula with that little bit more pigment in it and a beautiful shine and natural glow, and it lasts really well throughout the day as well. So those would be my top 3 picks, but actually I really loved everything that I've tried from this brand and I'd recommend it. So I think that's about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Thank you so much to Merit for sending me these items. I think it's really nice when brands reach out to smaller creators, and I really appreciate that they took notice of me and took the time to contact me and to send me these items. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions or comments below. I always love to see those. And if you'd like to see more from me and you haven't subscribed to my channel already, I'd really love for you to do so. Thanks again so much. Take care, and I'll see you in my next video.